back to the Hit Squad. Chad Range alongside Jesse Finney. And of course, we're going to be doing the predictions and analysis for UFC 166. But real quick, Josh Gross went a little long. We had to give him some hard times about the Cardinals on top of the Dodgers. Although we were up 3-1 last year, so
right.
I don't want to get cocky on that. But I do want to talk about the UFC cutting Polaris after a dangerous submission versus Mike Pierce. And actually, when I first saw it, I just kind of watched it. I thought, well, that's really... No. Then I watched it the second time, and I really got a good look. I thought, wow.
I was with you on that. I mean, with Paul Harris, you always know what you're going to get. He's going to act like an idiot. I mean, he really is. He's got no respect for the sport. John Fitch said it best. He says, man, I've never turned down a fight from anybody, but I would turn down a fight with him. With Paul Harris, because simply for the fact that, man, the guy holds on to heel hooks, knee bars, and you know what? You're going to rip your knee.
I mean,
okay?
he really held on. I mean, he was the ref was in there. And
I'm glad that Bellator said they didn't. UFC cut him, said we're done with you. You'll never fight there again. Bellator, you're completely done. You're cooked. And all due respect, Alec Davis is a friend of mine who's his manager. And Alex said, "Oh, he's getting pushed too hard. He's getting punished too hard." No, he's not, man. No, he's not. Enough is enough. Listen, it's about respect and discipline. If you don't have enough discipline to let go of a heel hook or an ankle lock, you know what? You don't deserve to be fighting in the mixed martial arts.
On top of that, he also tested positive for a PED. So I mean, I feel like it's another strike against him.
Right.
This was just the first.
Here's a guy ripping on my knee, shooting steroids in his butt.
Yeah,
boy, that's awesome. I can't wait for that one.
That one is So, and I also Fox Sports 1's going to re-air the entire UFC 165 pay-per-view main card on Thursday.
That's awesome, man.
That's
it's
great.
Free. Once again, I mean, they're doing something like that. It's just what it's doing is build more fans for the weekend. There's a big fight this weekend. What are they doing? They're going, okay, here's a little teaser for you. Here's what our main card delivers. Okay, now go buy our main card on Saturday.
Absolutely. An appetizer for the main event, if you will. GSP, very disappointed by lack of support from the UFC. Now, this was I read the article and it's a very gray area.
I agree. And GSP, you really can't ever be disappointed in the lack of support from the UFC because, look where you're at and you're a multi-millionaire. So, I mean, yeah, you know what? You're not going to agree with your boss all the time. And, at the same time.
Is this for testing?
Yes.
That's where we're talking about here.
Here's the thing. It's like, GSP, you pick your battles, man. I mean, and really, do you think you're going to have that big of battles with Johnny Hendricks? And if you're starting to question yourself right now, you might be questioning yourself on November 16th as well.
Right. Yeah, you kind of have other fish to fry heading into this where we're at. But our fish to fry is UFC 166 right now, happening in Houston, the main card. I am at 33-30, hovering at that 500. Jesse, a 10-game lead on me. 43-20. So we kind of got Josh Gross's take on everything.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a hell of a card overall.
It is.
This is a card that I thought, okay, yeah, it's going to be good. But actually, I feel like the more that I started to look more into it, there's some actually really exciting matchups on here. And I'm looking forward to watching it down at the Lumiere Casino Saturday night at the Stadium Sports Bar.
And you can always tell us where you're watching it. Our Twitter handle is at HitSquad101ESPN. Hit us up on Facebook. The / is HitSquad101ESPN. The exact same. Should be easy enough to remember. But yeah, free at Lumiere. Go down there.
Check it out. Stadium Sports Bar.
Nothing wrong with that.
Invite Chad over. He'll drink all your beer and eat all your food for free if you like.
That's right. I'm specialized in that. Well, the big guys are taking center stage, but the little guys are getting it started. John Dodson.
I love it.
Daryl Montague.
I'm going to go ahead and let you take a pick at this one first.
I will. I'm going to say, you know what? In his UFC debut, I'm going Montague. I'm saying that he.
I like it.
He comes out and makes a little.
It's a really good matchup here. I like it. And I think that you're never going to go along with the little guys.
No, it'll be action-packed.
They're action-packed. Give us 15 minutes of in your face, and I'm going to go ahead and go with John Dodson on this one.
So we're already disagreeing. So Gabriel Gonzaga 15-7, Sean Jordan at 15-4. You get the pick on this one.
This is something. This is which I didn't know this. Gabriel Gonzaga is the underdog here, which actually really surprised me because Sean Jordan is a great athlete, played college football. He's going to be in Gabriel Gonzaga's face. He's going to get after him. But on this one, I'm going to have to go with the experience on this, and I'm going to go with Gabriel Gonzaga.
See, we're already beginning the. I'm probably just digging myself a hole.
I don't know.
Or I'm making up some ground, one or the other. Let's hope making up some ground, although it hasn't been that way for a while. I'm going with Sean Jordan that one. Now, Gilbert Melendez, Diego Sanchez. This, I think, has fight of the night written all over.
I'm with you, buddy.
Yeah,
this is why I would pay my money for this pay-per-view.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I do agree. I've been lobbying for the Cormier-Roy Nelson, but like Gross said, This, to me, is the most intriguing fight.
Awesome.
Even beyond almost Cain Vasquez.
Fights are about matchups, man. And if you know what, if you're excited about matchups, this is it. This is going to be a great fight.
And I think Gilbert gets back into the win column. I'm going with Gilbert.
I'm going with Gilbert as well. I like Gilbert Melendez. The guy is always in your face and on you. But you know what? I turn around and say the exact same thing about Diego Sanchez. The man is always on you, in your face. But I got to tell you something. Gilbert Melendez, I think, has better striking overall. And I think as a wrestler, I think Gilbert Melendez has the strength as well. I will actually say that I think Gilbert has the strength and the jiu-jitsu as well. But you also look at it like this: as Diego Sanchez has been fighting the big leagues of the UFC for a long time. But you got to go with Gilbert Melendez on this, man. And I think who's going to win in this is going to end up being the fans.
Absolutely. Great matchup. I mean, I expect fireworks on that one, as I do from Cormier and Roy Nelson.
Roy Nelson, Daniel Cormier. I know that your boy is Roy Nelson because he eats at Old Country Buffet, and I know you're a big fan. So but at this time, I'm going to go with Daniel Cormier. I love DC, man. I'm happy that he's going to 205. I'm one of the few that is actually happy he's going to 205. Because I don't support teammates fighting each other until the very top, which they have got to the top. But there's an option for him to go down, so he doesn't have to fight his teammate. Then you hold 2 titles in your same gym. That's why I love what he's doing. Daniel Cormier all the way on this one.
I'm going Daniel Cormier too. I'm Roy Nelson. And a big question: is this it for Roy then?
No. He just signed another deal with those guys, and Roy Nelson has a following, man. And
he does have a following.
You know, here's what I don't want is Daniel Cormier to go out and break one of his hands. He has bad hands as it is. Roy Nelson has a super hard head. He's hard to put out. And I'm serious about this because he could end up having some major surgeries and some pins and plates.
I'm not.
And this could screw everything up in the big picture here.
I'm laughing because Daniel Cormier, who is a known great wrestler, is like, I'm gonna check that chin.
Yeah.
And if you
That's what it's about, man.
if you look, my favorite quote is a chin is like milk. It eventually goes bad. And I thought that was great from Cormier. And I mean, and I think he thinks that this is the night that
he could
sour milk for the. That's why I wanted that beard gone too.
He wants to test it.
He wants to test that chin without the beard. And, I mean, you got to love a beard and a mullet, from Roy Nelson. But, yeah, Daniel Cormier in that one. And then, obviously, the rubber match. Cain, Junior Dos Santos. You can't go wrong there, man. It's going to be a great fight.
I disagree.
You think it's all Cain?
I think it's all Cain.
I think
it's all Cain. I think it's 100% Cain. I think Cain is going to absolutely dominate in this fight. I think, and to say that Josh Gross said that Junior Dos Santos is number 2 heavyweight in the world, I completely disagree. I think Junior Dos Santos might be a top 5 guy in this world.
There's a lot of great heavyweights.
There's a lot of great heavyweights, man. There really are. I'm going all Cain Velasquez. No offense
I
whatsoever.
am too. I do think that I think that he will take this and go up 2-3 on Junior. And
sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I don't know when that rematch would happen again.
Well, and they say Josh is like 2 fights, 3 fights, 4 fights. I mean, I have zero desire to see another fight after this. I think that Junior Dos Santos got lucky in his first fight, and I think that's it. And I don't think it's going to be much of a fight in this fight. So if he goes down and Cain out wrestles him or beats him up again, expect the same for the next fights: 4, 5, 7, or 12. If these two.
So I stand to make up 2 games, possibly, if you will, 2 fights, if I can. So we're both taking Cain. Daniel Cormier, Gilbert Melendez. I went with Sean Jordan. You went with Gonzaga. And then I went with Montague. You went with John Thompson.
Interesting night.
It should be an interesting night. Absolutely. And, of course, we'll be breaking it down on next week's episode of The Hit Squad. You're watching 101sports.com.